Sheina Relibier, Relibier, Koldo Didofen Disili, Ani Sheina Relibier, Relibier, Koldo Didofen Disili, Achos Iraya Siona Sitamati, Sheroshim Imata, Cyrus Israelite, Achos Iraya Siona Sitamati, Sheroshim Imata, Cyrus Israelite. Shabbat Shalom, all you those here early. Shabbat comes and says, wake up, wake up. The soul of the beloved knocks on the heart's door. Open, open. Sheina Relibier, Relibier, Koldo Didofen Disili, Ani Sheina Relibier, Relibier, Koldo Didofen Disili, Ani Sheina Relibier, Relibier, Koldo Ani Sheina Relibier, Relibier, Koldo Didofen Disili, Achoti Raya Siona Sitamasi, Sheroshim Imata, Uso Cyrus Israelite, Rogam Chosi Raya Siona Sitamasi, Sheroshim Imata, Chosi Raya Siona Sitamasi, Sheroshim Imata, Chosi Raya Siona Sitamasi, Sheroshim Imata, Cyrus Israelite. Good Shabbos, everyone. Good Shabbos. You know this beautiful verse that we sang in the melody from our dear Rebbe, Reb Zalman. Ani Yeshena, I'm asleep, but my heart's awake. And in our tradition, the heart of every week is Shabbat. And so even if we've been sleeping on Tuesday, Wednesday, and hopefully you had some good sleep, Shabbat comes and says, I was awake the whole time. And here we've arrived at the heart of Shabbat, the heart of the week. And so here are all of you, whether here in the Synagogue, in Facebook, on YouTube, if you're here for the first time, we welcome you. If you've never been to a synagogue before, welcome. If you've never been to a Zoomagog before, welcome. If you're here with us every single week, welcome. Welcome. I know it's Daniel's birthday, Daniel Gillisgame. We're going to announce that again later, Daniel, but happy birthday, Daniel. Big birthday, 80. So many blessings to you. And to all of you, wherever you are. Take a look around the Zoom room, everyone, just to see some folks that you might know. Even as we sing together, it's nice to just see the faces in our Zoomagog. You can move through the rows rather easily with just a click on the dial. See some names, maybe some people whose faces are not yet here, but as we chant the words Higalena, reveal, we know that, my son brought home his class picture this week, and the individual pictures of him were without masks, and then the class picture, all the kids had masks on, And my wife and I were both surprised and said, whoa. And he said, what? That's normal now, right? Normal to wear a mask. He can see his classmates with a mask on or not. But I have to say to all of you, just to remember, this is good. Wearing a mask to obviously is important in certain contexts, but don't forget, Higalena. It's good to see each other's faces underneath it all. That's the real shock and surprise. Wow, look at that face, so beautiful. Higalena.
שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, עשו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל מילים לאדוני, גדול אדוני ולעולמנו, ונורא כל הגויים, בכל אלוהיה ממני, אדוני שמיים עשה, עוז והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו, עבור לאדוני משפחות עמים, עבור לאדוני כבוד ועוז, עבור לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאור חרבו לחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, זמרו בגויים אדוני נאמן, עתיקותיהם בעתימות, יין רבים מפי שרים, ישמחו השייך וטוב הארץ, ירמיה ומלאות, יעלו שדי בכל אשר בו, הזרע כל הציון, לפני אדוני כי בא, ישפוט את בצדק ויעלים את תבונתו, please rise if you are able. As we arrive at Psalm 29, unique psalm.
Let
You know, friends, what goes up must come down. As energies move from the heights of Sinai, Moses descends from the mountain. From the heights of Psalm 29 to this sweet, yearning, Lord, get me high. Ana b'koach, these words that are inserted ben hashmashot, between the suns, in the moment between Friday and Saturday in the psalm or in the liturgy. Each one of the 6 psalms corresponding to a day, and this prayer offered now hangs in the balance between the end of Friday and when Shabbat comes in. It's those moments in between, the moments between one day and another, between 1 hour and another, between one memory and another, between one thought and another, where we place a little mezuzah, a little parchment of a prayer that there might be an opening in the interstices in our lives, that all of the in-betweens might also be places where we find yearning, a crack in everything. Ana b'koach, source, help us untie our tangles in between.
Ana b'koach, gedulas yibincha, tatir tzura, kabel rinas, amcha sagvenu, tareinu dora.
Oh
So friends, even as you take a moment to feel that high, I'm also inviting you to feel the seat beneath you and the back of the seat against your back. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, we're just going to take 2 minutes to feel the energy that's already been cultivated and stirred in this space. That's the beauty of releasing the week energetically. We raise energy with breath and song and intention and word. I invite you to be fully present in this moment by gently turning your awareness to your body, noticing if you're carrying anything heavy, if you're feeling anxious or rushed, slow, you're breathing down. Feel your belly and feel the weight of your body as it naturally, in its slowing down, also descends. You can feel your shoulders slowly and very easily dropping. Shabbat is really slow down day. In our last silent 30 seconds or so, bring your awareness to your heart. Feel around the edges of the bones and the physical sensations around the heart. Shabbat is Shema de Kuchabrichu de Shalim Mikol Sitrohi. The holy 13th century text, the Zohar says, Shabbat is one of God's holy names, perfect in all sides, whole. So behind you, Shabbat, above you, Shabbat, to the right, Shabbat, to the left, Shabbat, beneath you, Shabbat, inside us, Shabbat, out in the world, Shabbat. And as you slowly open your eyes, when you decide to, and look at the words of our ancestors who said, Lecha Dodi, let's go, beloveds. Let's not just wait for Shabbat, let's go get Shabbat. Get us some Shabbat.
בואי בשלום אתם.
גם בשמחה ובצחוק עולם, טוב אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה שבת המלכה.
We invite you to take the Shabbat energy, the beauty of Shabbat that is this moment, and to hear the Zohar tell the story of the secret, the Raza, the mystery of Shabbat, the mystery of the body and the soul interwoven, the mystery of the we, you and me together, not two but one, the inside and the outside, the heaven and the earth, the two candles of Shabbat, Zachor v'Shamor, are Echad, because Shabbat is Raza, the Echad.
כגהבנה תינון משיחד יעילו בכל יחדת וסתה ברזה
In the unity of Shabbat, we have moments where what is known as the 6 days of Pirud, the 6 days of separation, peek through, and healing is one of those days, one of those ways, because the sages made a general prohibition against asking for things on Shabbat. We have everything we need on Shabbat. Why do you need anything but healing? We still need healing. And for those of you, of course, in this community, if you're here for the first time, you might not know, but all of those who are regulars in our community know that Rabbi Mira Rivera is a strong, incredibly powerful leader in our community. And she had a fall this afternoon, and she's, thank God, okay, everybody. But she did break her arm. And we'll have to undergo surgery tonight or tomorrow. And so we know that you might be watching us, Rabbi Rivera. Rabbi Mira, you are beloved to us. We hold you in our hearts. I would ask that everybody here please refrain from emailing or texting or writing or doing anything. Give some space to the healing. She's okay, thank God, but a bit in shock. And our hearts are with you and with Jerry at this moment. We send you strength. You're the one who heals the brokenhearted and the broken-limbed. Heal all of those who need healing tonight.
Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of their wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know who they are. Harofer Shreileh Umchabesh Le'atzvotam Moneh Mispar LaKochavim Lekulam Shemot Yikra
ויברך ורפא את כל החולים. ובוא שאנו מתפללים בעבורם בשכרדי הקדוש ברוך הוא, ימלא רחמים עליהם, להחלימם ולרפאותם, לחזיקם ולהחזיר אותם. ישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים, וירמח איבריהם ושסה גידיהם, בתוך שאר חולי ישראל ובתוך שאר חולי עולם כולו. We pray for their healing as we say together, Hallelujah. Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I needed a few extra seconds of silence here because there were so many amens that I was hearing from all the way in the Zoomosphere that were making their way into this space. I see so many of you, and I want to wish each and every one of you a good Shabbos. That would take up the entire time, but wish one another good Shabbos right now inside of the space. Just no one can hear you, but just look at them and wish them, a good Shabbos. Peace to you, heart opening to you. I'd like to invite all of those who are new to the Romemu community, if you feel comfortable, if you're here for the first time, writing your name and maybe where you're from, into the chat area as we share some announcements that are important for the community to hear. So just start populating the chat area with those important things, the important names and places so that we can say good Shabbos to you. But we're going to have a couple of announcements for you. First of all, as I mentioned earlier tonight, big mazel tov to our dear friend Daniel Gildesgame on his big birthday this weekend, 80 years old, at 120, should live to be well 120 years. And we want to thank you, Daniel and Andrea Funer, for your generous sponsorship of tonight's and indeed this entire weekend's services. That is, of course, one of the ways to honor a whole slew of things that we could lift up and honor. But we want to thank you for that. Sponsoring is the way that we help to ensure the continuation of our services here, and we thank you for stepping forward. Yom Holedet Sameach, Daniel. Many, many more. Also, to let you know that the Romemu community's Sacred Conversations is an incredible way for you all. I'm sorry. There you go. Thank you. The Sacred Conversations is an incredible, important way for members of our community to be thick together. I was thinking about that phrase, I remember as a young child, I said this to the Hasidic Masters class today, that telling someone you were thick wasn't a good thing. But in sociological categories, thick is good. Thick community as opposed to thin, right? Thin threads, thicker threads, things that are thickly woven, that don't easily become threadbare. We are so in need of community at this moment. So Sacred Conversations is the technology, the ways that we're doing it. Please register by February 10th to be involved in those conversations as a way to connect with other members of the community. Seriously Seeking Renewal is a program that's online on February 2nd. It is, I really don't know much about that program, but it looks like a good, we're all seeking renewal, aren't we? So,
Rabbi Scott from,
is that Rabbi Scott?
yeah, I think it's Rabbi Scott.
Is that in Brooklyn? Wow, okay, great.
It might be universal. It
Unbelievable.
might be cross bridges.
Across the bridges. I love it. So Brooklyn, Seriously Seeking Renewal, that is February 2nd online at 7 o'clock. This weekend we have our partnership with Romemu and Mandala Cafe, the community kitchen, and our winter outerwear distribution. That is this Sunday at 2 p.m. across the street in the Romemu Center. Please do not volunteer by emailing Rabbi Mira at mira@romemu.org. Send the email instead to david@romemu.org. That's my email, and that will be a way for us to manage this coming Sunday's wonderful volunteer infusion into this program. Helps to feed those in our immediate vicinity and clothe those who don't have hardware. Gesundheit. Morning mini and daily meditation. We have so many registrations going on weekly. Please be aware of the need to register for all of these programs. And just to highlight one particular program in the well, Romemu's Adult Learning Touchstones on the Path, starting on February 17th on Thursdays, select Thursdays, as well online. And tomorrow morning, God willing, be here at 8:45 with our Parsha class, our open book, our study of the portion of the week from the Torah. At 8:45 and 10 o'clock will be our services. Okay. Some people say that announcements are the death knell of good services. Anybody ever feel that? Like, I say to myself, I hope this is useful. So then, what we do? We cut out announcements and we just go straight to saying hello to people. And then people email us and say, what happened to the announcements? I need the announcements. I wouldn't know. So we have to let people know. Anybody in the Zoom log for the first time, I'm going to check this chat area here, see if there's any activity. So many beautiful people here. Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom from Fort Myers, Florida, to Lindy and Elliot. Shabbos. Elliot, thank you for sending healing prayers to Rabbi Mira. And anybody new? All kinds of wonderful things here. New people. People usually a little bit shy in the chat area. Or it could be that they're just I'm not into chatting because on Shabbat.
This is a community of deep conversations, so they're not
They don't want to just do the small talk and just say hi, here's who I am. Again, for those who are coming in late, Rabbi Mira is not sick. Rabbi Mira fell and broke her arm today and is, thank God, well other than that, but it's a bit of a shock, obviously, and we're praying for her as well, praying for her healing. In the chat area, anybody here for the first time? Yes, Hasidic Masters is continuing in February. It is, indeed. Okay. We're going to move into our evening prayers. If you are here for the first time, we send you our warmest welcome and thank you. If you're able to please rise wherever you are as we are called to community. I wanted to read something from one of our members, Tomas Dimoncho, good friend, student. He reminded me that this weekend is the closest on the calendar to Survival Day, a day in which Indigenous Australians remember the genocide of Australians in that continent. They reaffirm their resilience and renew their work of repair and restoration. The day is generally observed on January 26th, also known as Mourning Day and Invasion Day. that remembrance was brought to mind because the Shabbat, when those indigenous Australians remember their genocide and renew the work of repair for the people and culture, both in Australia and around the world. Thomas is Australian. He brought this to our hearts because he wanted us to be mindful of having used the song of instrument from the sacred praise and from the sacred tradition of the indigenous peoples of Australia, the Gidaki, or what we call the didgeridoo. We use it in our own music of praise and service here at Romemu. And so we want to include their story, their song and their struggle in our prayers, and I think that's a beautiful kavanah in everything we do to lift up our connection with other human beings everywhere. We have different instruments that mean different things, but we sing one song, the song of the heart. And so thankful for the plentiful ways in which we sing our different songs and different ways of expressing that great one song. Baruch Hu.
Hey, oh, oh, hey,
Hey, oh, oh, hey.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. ערבים וחוכמה פותח השערים ובתבינה משנה איתי מחליפת הזמנים מסדרת את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ורק כרצונה אורת יום ולילה כוללת אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור ומעביר היום ומביא הלילה מבילה בין יום ולילה יצוות שמה אין לך יד וקיים, תמידים לך עלינו עולם Night becomes day, day becomes night, night becomes day, day becomes night. We bless impermanence, the dark and the light. Day becomes night, night becomes day, day becomes night, night becomes day, day becomes night. The many and the one and the Rucha Ad Shechina Hamariba Arabim חוקים משפטים אותם למטה, כן. אדוני אלוהינו ושובנו, קומנו נעשה לחוקך.
כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו והם נגד יומם ולילה ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בו בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרת לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם במזוזות ביתך ושעריך.
The second paragraph of the Shema. If we listen, returning over and over again to listening to the whispers. Be careful of your ego, your self-centeredness. Careful not to worship other gods, greed and your envy, your short-sightedness. Destroy the world you are, destroy the world you are. Place these words on your heart, on your soul. Bind them on your arms, on your mind.
Take these words to your heart.
Teach them to your children.
Take these words to your heart.
Sitting,
these words to
standing,
your
walking, lying.
Take these words to your heart. Take these words to your heart.
Take these words so that you might have lengthy days. Lengthen your days. Your children, your children's children, unto the seventh generation on this earth that we share. This covenant of all, as long as heaven and earth have been. Yom Adonai al Moshe limu, V'era b'nei Yisrael v'matali v'sunem tzitzit. I'm going to say the Himmel, do it on tzitzit. Hakana b'til b'cheder b'lechem lit tzitzit. Oitem mato v'chaytem. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם. אמת, 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 אמת. I took you from slavery, that's the truth. I take you today from slavery, that is emet. Interwoven with the freedom of all peoples, freedom for all, freedom for all, redemption song for all, redemption for all, redemption for all, redemption for all. As Miriam and Moshe sang that song,
תהילות לאל עליון ברוך ומבורך משה ומניס ומרים וניס ולחנו שירה לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם
Won't you help to sing these words of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song. Malachut v'nacham, rokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. These songs of freedom is all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song,
redemption song, redemption song.
נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגר לו מיד חזק מבהדו. Baruch atah Adonai, Ka'al Yisrael.
I remember last week watching and listening to the remarkable sermon of my colleague, Rabbi Angela Buchdal, who just the week before had been having a Shabbat afternoon meal when she got the call from a deranged individual who said to her, "I'm running out of patience and you're running out of time." And she started to pray these words that we sing every night, Hashkivenu. We pray for peace. We pray for security and safety. Spread over us a canopy of peace. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu Malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu Malkeinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your wings over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, oh, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu Malkeinu shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Please rise if you're able. Neshama Menei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat No Tameni Kaddish.
Yitkadav yitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yamad v'achirutei v'yamlech malchutei.
V'chayechonu
V'chayechonu chayecho beit Yisrael. B'agala u'v'zmahat kariv yimiru.
Amen. Yesh me'olam v'orach.
Le'olam le'olam hayah.
Yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh ve'yitalam shmei dekudsha le'ela min kol birchata ve'shirata
Tushbechata le'nechemata
Damiran le'oma v'yimeru Amen.
Invite the entire community to a few moments of traditional Amidah, standing in silence with prayer, or your own words, your own silence, as long as you stay in the presence of the one that you name the divine. We are together.
Yehu
Yehu
leratzon
Leratzon
Himrei fi Vegyom Libi lefanecha Adonai
Adonai
Suri
Suri
Vegoali Adonai Suri Vegoali.
Like Rabbi Mira, whom we continue to send loving prayers and thoughts to, as she fell today and hurt herself, but will God willing recover. I too had a fall this week. I fell pretty hard. I literally fell on my face. It all happened so quickly and with such force and such profound shock that I'm still feeling it to this moment. I was pretty much one moment in a state of ecstatic rejoicing, and the very next moment, I was tumbled into a little ball on the street as my 5-year-old child Or watched in horror. It wasn't anything, thankfully, tragic, nothing about the current state of New York City and all of that. It was much simpler and, frankly, on some level funny, if not absurd. I've been working hard for a while to, just a little parenthetical note here, just a kind of pause in the sermon. My children will know a lot about their lives from listening to their Abba sermons, God willing one day. And it's, on some level, a bit of a gamble being a rabbi's child, but I hope that they appreciate this. I've been working hard for a number of years to be the one that my little guy wants to hang out with a little bit, choose me over mom kind of thing sometimes. Once in a while, And I've worked on it, There was a moment when Or was born that he used to want to go to sleep with me and so on, but that was long ago. But I was making inroads on picking him up from the bus. And so on Wednesday, as the bus, the time for picking up the bus drew near, I got myself together and I ran to the bus stop to pick him up because it was available. Ariel was not around. Picked him up and we just had the best time ever for 10 minutes. We were just giggling and joking, and I was making up all kinds of little games, about stepping on a crack and breaking your back and doing circles and all kinds of fun. And he was giggling, and I introduced myself to him. I said, "Hi, Mr. Ingber. I'm also Mr. Ingber. I'm here to pick you up." And about 10 minutes into that, he turned to me and he said, "Abba, I want you to pick me up every day." Wow, that is a prize. That was, something, a gift. It's something that I had been working towards in my mind and my heart, and I couldn't think of anything to do. I was so excited, I thought I better up my silly game. I'd been so silly, that's what was winning the day. So I saw a little ledge to a brownstone right next to me as he said those words, and I tried to leap onto the top of it and to stand on it. I had a whole vision. It was very quick. It was a flash of insight. I'm going to stand on the ledge, and I'm going to scream, "Mr. Ingber, you've got a deal every day." Something like that. It was going to be like a triumphant, Rocky, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's going to be a big thing. And of course, as you probably know already, clearly, I kind of gave it away. My leg didn't quite clear the ledge, and all the weight of my body tumbled over, and it was pretty freezing on Wednesday. It felt like it was a baseball bat that I hit as my face landed on the pavement. And in the aftermath of that, you know, from the heights to the depths, from the beauty to the horror of sitting with blood and wondering what just happened and worried about Orr and if he was going to be okay because he was a bit in shock too. The moment passed and I lost it. It was gone. Like my son didn't really want to, kind of a little bit confused, and we went home, and I remember sitting, I kind of went and got a big thing of ice and put it on my face. Everybody was wondering what happened to me on the way to the bus stop. And I just sat in my chair and I cried, and I just broke down and started crying. And I thought to myself, I could hear in my voice, I could hear in my head, I felt embarrassed, I felt ashamed, I felt silly, but most of all, I felt, I don't know if you've ever felt this, but I felt punished. I felt like I had a moment, a narrative, a story started to run in my mind like, why? So beautiful, such a moment, such an epiphany, felt almost like cruel. And I could hear that story running. What had been a really tough day already crossed over into this really, really horrible scene. And it's hard, isn't it, not to fuel feelings of self-pity and self-blame, of shame, and you get the story, right? You get the gestalt. But I wondered to myself more broadly, what is it that we might have to both understand and then do in order to shortcut that path to pain and prolonged suffering? And I find a pathway here in tomorrow morning's Torah reading. A very odd moment in tomorrow morning's Torah portion, very odd and much discussed and much analyzed and commented upon moment happens in chapter 24. The book of Exodus brings us tomorrow morning's reading in chapter 24, Mishpatim, which is chock full of laws. After the ecstasy of Sinai, there are no fewer than 53 laws that are promulgated and given over to the Israelites. Jack Kornfield, the great Jewish Buddhist, said, after the ecstasy, indeed the laundry list of how to bring Sinai into every moment of our day. And towards the end of tomorrow morning's reading, we find Moses grabbing his brother, two of his brothers' sons, Nadav and Avihu, and 70 elders, and deciding, unbidden by the divine, to ascend the very mountain that they had all stood at the foot of. And what would seem like another revelation at Sinai occurs. The Torah tells us that Moses, Aaron, and the two sons of Aaron and the 70 elders, they ascend the mountain, and here in verse 10, chapter 24, Vayir'u Elohei Yisrael v'tachat raglav k'maaseh livnat hasapir. And they beheld the God of Israel. Underneath the legs of God, there is the likeness of a livnat hasapir, a brickwork of sapphire, a sapphire brickwork, uche'etzem hashamayim latohar. And like the essence of sky in its purity. This is a remarkable moment. For many commentators, of course, the problem of these texts is not how is it that 70 elders and then the others got to have a peek behind the screen, they got special access. The problem, of course, is what does it mean to see God? The text says that they see God. That can't be in a tradition that doesn't have an image of the divine that's permissible. Such are the problems of the medieval philosophers and others. But a clue, I think, to what's happening here is the sapphire brickwork. You see, the word used, and this is brought to attention by many of the commentators, the word used for bricks here, livnat, livena, livenim, is a word that appears in the Tower of Babel story, the Babel story, but most importantly, it appears in the story of the slaves of Egypt. The slaves in Egypt are the ones who were bidden to do brickwork. How profoundly triggering and activating it must have been to imagine them seeing the very bricks that just a few short moments ago were the symbol of slavery and the symbol of servitude, the symbol of suffering, to see that same symbol now in a divine image that is sapphire-esque, blue, profoundly transparent, luminous even. The word sapphire is understood in many Hasidic texts to be from the word sipur, that when you tell a story, it becomes more and more clear, like the clear blue of sapphire. The way that the Degel Machane Ephraim, the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, understands the mitzvah to tell the story of Egypt each and every year is, right? The more you tell, the more sapphire-esque, the more clear it can become. They see before them a symbol of slavery that now has been transposed, transfigured, transvalued into a symbol of glorious, luminous clarity and purpose, divine power. Our sages long ago knew that symbols abound. We are presented with hard facts in the world and then bidden to do the soft work of interpretive reconstruction and healing. The most powerful thing anybody can ever say to you is that is the fact, but what do you make of it? What do you make of that which was given to you, the story that you've received, the events that have taken place, the things that you have undergone, the moments of falling flat on our faces? What story do you make of it? Is it a story of suffering? Is it a story of a cruel and blind universe that sees a father at the moment, at the height of his joy, and then says, I'll let you fall on your face? Or is it more like the great therapist Carl Jung, philosopher and archetypal theoretician, who said that all of life is a dream and its interpretation is for us? The symbols are not given in their meaning, only in their surfacing. You can cut the ribbon of inevitability by cutting the assumption about what that might have meant and maybe choosing another story. It wasn't long after, as I sat in that seat, that as I told the story of woe to someone, they said, I think the universe is telling you to slow down. Another person said to me, I think the universe is saying that once you got what you wanted, you didn't have to do any more. And oh, the 70 interpretations of Torah began. 2 days later, I don't even remember the shame of falling on my face. I think it's really quite lovely that I received such a delicious, direct message that was unavoidable every time I look in the mirror. Of course, it's a bit assumptive of me to make a claim that each and every life circumstance is open to the kind of malleability and interpretive power that I so easily and with such facility display here from all of my friends. Might not be the best idea to go to someone who's just had something horrible happen to them and tell them what you think the meaning of that event is. But certainly the Torah here is inviting us to be a bit more curious. I remember last week in discussing anti-Semitism in the community and beyond, I remember distinctly that there was a conversation a number of years ago about flags as symbols. And this week, as I was discussing the presence of flags on our bima with someone, a rabbi whom I admire and deeply respect, he said to me, Isn't it true that the symbol of the flag or the symbol of the Torah or the symbol of any of the relics here within the synagogue, all the things that are part of us, isn't it true that they make a statement? And I said to him, it's true they make a statement. But what that statement is a question that one should ask, not an assumption that one should make. The right question is, what kind of Jew are you? Not, I see you wearing a big velvet yarmulke, you must be ultra-Orthodox. The right question is, if you say you're a believer in the state of Israel, not you are a Zionist, but what kind of Zionist are you? What does it mean to you to support the state or its opposite? Symbols are questions. There's something that we might interrogate and ask ourselves as often as possible, some more strongly than others, that's true. There are lines. But narratives are open, thankfully, to interpretation. Falls and mistakes, events that we have no control over, are open to our own capacity to see them either as bricks of slavery or the luminous, clear bricks of a divine revelation. That choice is ours. And it's vital that we make that choice as often as possible to liberate ourselves from stories and slaveries that we no longer need to honor. May God bless us with the clarity of that Livnata Sapir. The Talmud teaches us that that blue sapphire was indeed a device that was an associative device. As we were looking at the Shema today, I saw the blue letters of the word Techelet, the blue string that was on the tzitzit, on the garment of the one who wore the prayer shawl. The Talmud says one would look at the blue of the tzitzit and that would remind them of the blue of the ocean. And the blue of the ocean would then remind one of the blue of the sky. And the blue of the sky would then remind one of the blue bricks, the blue sapphire, the sapphire brickwork. That to me is a powerful brickwork, if ever there was one. May God bless us with that healing. Please rise if you're able. Please rise if you're able.
Ki Adonai, Hu Elohim.
Hashevota el levavecha, Ki Adonai, Hu Elohim. Einon milvado, Einon efes ulato, Einon Please remain standing if you are remembering a loved one. We invite those who are in the Zoomagog to place the names of loved ones in the chat area as we also call the names of loved ones who are in the first week of mourning, for whom we are in the first week of mourning, that are on the screen in front of you. Jason Rivera, Uri Perez Tamayo, Barry Latzman, Alan Millard, Doris Dickinson, Dr. John Spitzer, Hermina Shoyema, Howard Eisenberg, Irving Gedoldig, Robert Bly, Ruth Kuhn-Youngerman, and Thomas Arthur Digier. Sally Staver, Robin's mother, Sally Sirka Bat Gittel, Amitai Ben Chorin. For our teacher, Tiknat Khan, for Shula Koenig, Henry Wenkart, Arlene and Irving Applebaum, Lori Miller Levine, Seymour Alloy. If those who are reciting the Kaddish, please rise. If you customarily rise for those who are saying the Kaddish, please rise as well as we stand together supporting one another. Yiskadal v'yiskadash me Rabbah.
Amen.
V'olmad yivrachi rusei v'yamlich malchusei v'cheichon v'yamichon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kori v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach Yalam l'mei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitroma v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekutsha brichu Leilam min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran v'oma v'imru Amen. Yehei shloma Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim tovim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel, and let us say Amen. Yehi zichram baruch, may their memory be a blessing. Into this cup of blessing, first and foremost, Chazan Shechter, Chazan Vasya, into this cup of blessing. The blessing of our davening leaders today, to Jackson Mercer, our rabbinic fellow, and to Rich Stein and Noah Solomon. So beautiful to daven together with such talented and heartfelt people. It's such, so good. To Matt Barba, who's helping us be heard, and to our on-site staff today, Rabbi Janice Elster, and those who are on-site, Justin and Junior and Freddie, and of course, Ryan at the door, and Celia and Grace in our virtual universe, helping us stay safe and connected. To all of you too, if I could see a picture of all of you, into this cup of blessing, my friends, our mishpucha here. Let's see, there we go. And good Shabbos to Patience, and good Shabbos to Karen, and Rachel Maclef, and Andrea. And good Shabbos to Jessica around the corner, and Bracha and Carol, and Louisa and Debbie, Sue Ann. Good Shabbos to Paul, and to Jeff Sussman, and Amy. Just keep going through, you guys can call them out. Ilana, I don't know your husband's name, he's always there right next to you, so anyway, maybe you can chat it in. Ilana and her handsome husband, and Jonathan, Rabbi Jonathan Zimmett, and Beth. Here's to Beth Moon, to Leslie, and Neil. Rachaleya, Ramit, Aaron, Ariella. To Willie Kane, hey brother, good to see you. With us, Farnoosh and Elaine, Emmett Ava in Gettysburg, and Stephen, Carol Anshine around the corner, good Shabbos around, Robin and John, we missed you guys, good to see you. Welcome back, good to see you. Helio in Brazil, Aunt Joni, of course. Shabbos, Aunt Joni, here with our affiliate in Great Neck. Shabbos to all of you, Tani and Ellen and Sharon and Sarah T and Becca, and all of you, Roberta, all the Karen. We wish you a good Shabbos. For those of you whose names we didn't mention. We can see you, and we thank you for being with us. So beautiful to daven with you on the Shabbos. Into this cup of blessing. Vayer vayevoker yom hashishi, vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz, v'chol tzevam, vayichal Elohim bayom hashvi'i, melachto asher asa, vayishbos bayom hashvi'i, mikol melachto asher asa, vayevarech Elohim es yom hashvi'i. Vayikadesh oso, kivo shavas mikol melachto, asher bara Elohim naso, savi chavirai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'rotzavanu, v'shabas kodsho, v'yava v'ratzon inchilanu, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת, עם כל העמים בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. So as our friends begin to sing this song, I want to just put out there into the universe a desire that I have that's been percolating for a couple of weeks, but I haven't even discussed it with Chazan Basya yet. And it includes everyone who's here in the synagogue and on the Bima. I don't know how you all feel about this, but I would love to get into a recording studio with these incredible musicians and davening leaders and record Friday night and Shabbat morning songs for the table songs for Shabbat. Sephardi, Ashkenazi, to put together a Zmirot booklet, a booklet of unique prayers for how to, kind of like Shabbat night, Kiddush, and I don't know, Yari Bon Olam and Dror Yikra and all the beautiful. Wouldn't that be amazing? We're looking for sponsors. So if anybody, it's Shabbos, so I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it out there,
Looking for sponsors tomorrow.
Tomorrow, after Shabbat. Sponsors for after Shabbat. Okay, friends. Some Shabbat singing. No, leave not us up here.
Live not us up here. Uchatzema shamayim tohar kemaseh. Live not us up here. Uchatzema shamayim tohar kemaseh. Live not up here. Uchatzema shamayim tohar.
Have a good Shabbos. Beautiful friends, may it be pure, may it be clear. See you tomorrow morning, God willing, for... Hey,